You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
And I am Clint, and we're not Vanderbilt, which means, wait, hold on, let me. I have a pulse.
Still living.
Still
living. I haven't stopped smiling since Saturday, Clint.
No, it's been good. I got rear-ended, and I hopped out of the car and said, "You want my insurance? Here, you know what? Why don't we just let this one go?
Why don't we just let it go? But let's let bygones be bygones. The important thing to remember is that Vanderbilt is the worst, and they got exactly what was coming to them, and in no way should you feel sorry for them at all.
No, not at all. Hey, thanks for having us be your first listen of the day. It means a great deal. If you're on audio or you're on YouTube, hey, how you guys doing? Glad you're here with us. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And we are here every day talking UGA football because guess what? We love talking about that. That's it.
Are there other things to talk about, to be honest? I mean, in life.
Oh, still no.
Still no. Okay.
Still no.
We're on the same page.
Hey, we're not gurus or insiders, and praise be for that fact. We are fans, so we're going to talk like fans.
Sure.
We don't take each other too seriously, nor ourselves. So have fun on this podcast with us. You're going to have a blast. We're going to have a blast, and we're going to talk UGA football the entire time.
Listen, it is, as the old song goes,
okay,
it is great to be a Georgia Bulldog, Clint. You understand what I'm saying? It is, never has that been more true than right now.
Today.
It's what a time to be a UGA fan. Welcome. If you're new to the show, there's lots of you that are new every week. Whether you're listening to us on an audio podcast format, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we are glad that you found us. You can leave us subscribe to the pod on that platform or leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those help us out a tremendous amount. Still, most of our listeners are in that audio format, watching and listening on that. I just realized that the Twitter handle on YouTube underneath me is completely wrong. Just not accurate whatsoever. Somebody, hang on.
Oh,
I just fixed it. Do you see what kind of a growth has been happening here on the podcast? If you're listening on audio as I was just speaking to you, you have no idea what else just happened. But let me just say, your boy's a little bit more tech savvy than he used to be.
You are running out of jobs to do.
I did that. Dubs, you didn't do that. I did that. So if you're watching the show on YouTube, then you know that I just magically fixed something through the magic of video. But we're glad that you found us over there as well. You can subscribe to the pod on YouTube. Subscribe both places. That is great for us. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell, whatever it is on YouTube that you do. Leave us a comment. All those are great. We would love to hear from you. LockedOnBulldogs@gmail.com is the email address. @Dogs Podcast is the Twitter handle, as you can plainly see if you are watching on YouTube. It's not @Dogs Podcast L, which I'm not sure what that would even be. Do not message that Twitter handle. We can neither confirm nor deny.
Back on the rails.
That is a sanctioned Twitter handle. Lot of fantastic emails this weekend. I mean, there's too many for us to discuss.
Yeah. Yep.
I do want to hit on one though, because it's related to the general theme of the show, and it's related to the general theme of being a Georgia fan right now, and that
Exaltation?
is exactly. That is shout out to Danny, I believe is the listener's name, who sent us this email. He starts the email addressing it to Daniel and Clint, and then in parentheses says, "Daniel, tell Clint this because I know he doesn't read the emails." So, First of all, Danny knows you.
He knows.
Danny knows. Which already I was excited to read the rest of the email. Danny just would like it to be said for the record, not a complaint. I didn't hear necessarily a formal complaint, but would like it to be said for the record that not all Georgia fans are idiots.
Oh,
which we know, Danny. And sometimes it's true. We can be guilty of the Georgia fans that do need a little nudge in the right direction. But Danny wants us to know that there are many Georgia fans like him who don't have anything negative to say about Kirby's coaching decisions, don't have anything negative to say about the play of our defensive backs, don't have anything negative to say about this team in general, because it's just good to be a Georgia fan right now. Clint, this team is very good. And so a quick public service announcement for our listeners.
Here we go.
Yeah, be more like Danny. Listeners, that's all we need to say, really.
Just better, and better is Danny.
Be more like Danny. Clint, there are no flaws with this team. There's nothing we need to really discuss in terms of the negative. There's nothing negative. I mean, I genuinely want you to say if you have anything negative to say about this team. Go ahead.
Genuinely? Like,
yes.
Actually? Okay.
I want you to lead with it. I want you to come out with it right from the get-go.
Okay.
All right, well, let's move on to the positives then.
There we go.
Where do you want to start on this list? I've never seen a performance like this.
No.
I mean, no one has. I don't. This is
no UGA fan has seen UGA come out and suck the soul right out of an entire city, entire university, so emphatically.
This was a conference game, so I'm told.
So I'm told
35-0 after one quarter. Just did the over cash, Clint? Did Vanderbilt contribute to that over? Did the -30? Keep in mind the experts in Las Vegas put this line at 34.5.
Oh no.
Well, we went ahead and almost doubled that margin of victory. Clint, where do you want to start?
I want to start simply put. We told you on this podcast. Now, look, I am not one to tout and say how great we are, but
okay. Let me stop you right there, Clint.
If I may, if I may.
Okay. Well,
JT Daniels is the best quarterback in the SEC. Okay.
Matt Corral called. He agrees.
He agrees. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Good. Second point, Kirby Smart has said many times, and we said on this podcast, we understand offense is the name of the game, but why can't defenses turn it around? And why can't defenses hold teams under 13? It sounds crazy. And yet we sat here on this podcast and we said, it's not crazy because defenses can morph to what offenses are doing. And if you trust Dan and Kirby to do that, guess what they can go out and do? Just that thing.
What if I told you two things, Clint?
Here we go.
Has anybody ever said this before? Two things can be true at the same time.
Okay.
Those two things are Georgia has the best offense in the SEC.
Point one.
Georgia has the best defense in the NCAA.
Point two.
Okay. One of those things is indisputable.
Defense is hands down
indisputable.
The best in the entire land.
Every statistical category, or just turn your eyeballs on and watch.
That's the most impressive part.
But listen, I know Ole Miss has been playing lights out, and big game that's coming up this week. We're going to be talking about it, I'm sure, on Thursday when we get to the locks against Alabama. I mean, surely College Game Day is going to go there, right, Clint? Surely College Game Day will be down in Tuscaloosa.
It's Bama Ole Miss with Ole Miss riding
Lane
high.
Kiffin coming in, getting ready to knock off Nick Saban. It's a big. Surely College Game Day decided to go there.
No, sir.
No. Listen, I'll take our offense over anybody.
Anybody. Look,
anybody.
No, our offensive line, stout, killer. Solidified,
and getting better every day.
Listen,
Broderick Jones getting in there, getting those reps, getting better every day.
Here's the scary part.
Scary big part. 69 moves inside, Clint, and you put Broderick Jones out there on the edge.
Broderick Jones, when he mid-season, when he is our starting left tackle mid-season,
yeah, it's coming.
Oh my mama. Daniel, there's no faults. Anybody that wants to try finding faults is somebody who was previous UGA fan that we gave PSA out. Like, don't be the fan anymore. There are no more skeletons, demons.
Danny.
Be like Danny.
Yeah.
Guys, we were supposed to go out and skull drag Vandy, and guess what? We did.
Some of y'all are getting on Twitter talking about this is going to be a 13-7 game at Vanderbilt. I've seen too many Georgia games. No, you haven't.
Nope.
That's the thing. You saw those Georgia games, and those Georgia games were played by those Georgia teams.
Real quick question. Daniel,
this ain't it.
I got a quick question, and then we'll go to break here. Kirby Smart gets hired at UGA, along with the likes of Matt Campbell at Iowa State and Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma and Dan Mullen at Florida and Franklin at Penn State. You name the list. How are those hires looking today as fans boo Oklahoma against West Virginia, as Penn State is kind of hidden there, and Franklin's rumored to be looking at USC?
Oh no!
Oh no, guys! This is a completely and utterly different era for UGA, and you've never seen anything like this. That's the good news.
I'm starting to sweat.
Starting? You stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Hey, we're gonna come back after this. After we talk about PrizePicks, college football fanatics. Have you heard about PrizePicks? It's the daily fantasy made easy. I love this, and I know you will love it as well. It's a leader in college football daily fantasy, offers more college football props than anyone else in the world. That's a big place.
Not just America.
No.
Not just the Western Hemisphere.
Nope.
Worldwide.
There you go. Offers any prop you can think of, which we dispute because we can think of a lot of different props. You pick 2 to 5 players in the over-under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry. PrizePick allows mixed sports entries, NBA, NHL, NFL, the whole 9 yards. Use the award-winning app on both the App Store or Google Play. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. PrizePick is safe. Use the promo code LOCKEDON or go to your App Store. Download the app today at prizepicks.com. Use promo code LOCKEDON. Don't hesitate. PrizePicks.com. Daniel, where do you want to go next?
Well, I ended the last segment by saying I'll take our offense against anybody in the country. You said JT Daniels is the best quarterback in the SEC. Todd Monken is the greatest thing that's ever happened offensively to the University of Georgia since Herschel Walker.
He's up here.
But let's get weird. Okay, Clint. I've been sitting on it. I've been marinating.
Ooh, here's a y'all. When Daniel does this, you can see a little. I can tell there's a little twinkle in his eye pre-production. I've been marinating
on a take, Clint. And listen, it's gonna be tough for some of y'all to hear. Because one of the great things about college football is the rich history and tradition. And we've been accused of recency bias recently, which you could argue was just recency bias because we just said it recently. So
how about it's just bias?
But this gentleman, Brock Bowers, Clint, may I speak on him?
You have the floor. Let me sit back with my popcorn.
May I speak on Brock Bowers? Well, it's funny that you said that because you should get your popcorn ready because Brock Bowers, I believe at the end of this season, is going to go down as having the single greatest offensive season for a true freshman since 1980, number 34, Herschel Walker. I'm not going to put him on that level because there's literally no way that a tight end could have that kind of an impact on a team. Herschel had 70% of the touches that season, but it will be the greatest impact for a freshman, the greatest freshman offensive season. And listen, do you remember Todd Gurley as a true freshman? He was dynamite. His very first touch was a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Do you remember Nick Chubb when Todd Gurley went down with injury a few games into the season and we said, oh no, and then we said, who's that? Do you remember AJ Green as a freshman?
All of them.
But Clint, This kid keeps doing things that you don't see anyone doing in college football. People are saying things like baby Gronk, but I don't know. Like, can Gronk run like that?
Do you remember? I remember watching Gronk highlights when he got drafted out of Arizona. It wasn't like this. I'll tell you that much right now. Go look at the tape. It wasn't
as a true freshman like this.
Nope.
Like, this kid has come in ready to play. The NFL, honest to goodness, should make an exception and allow him to be drafted after this season. But he will be on our team, Clint, for how many more years?
That's 2 more after this, 3 total.
3 total years you're going to get to watch this kid do this in Athens. It's not fair, the things that he's doing to defenses, Clint. And whatever that touchdown number was that you and I were talking about, triple it, quadruple it, he can name his number in terms of tuds at this point in the season. You and I were talking, what game was it that I was watching where, man, it was a college football game this weekend, team with a good tight end, and he didn't have any catches in the game. It was one of the more marquee games of the weekend. Anyway, team struggled to get the ball to their star tight end. People were commenting he didn't have any catches. When are they going to get him involved in the offense? And I commented to you, Clint, do you remember a first quarter of a game when Brock Bowers didn't have a catch? He is the number one option, seemingly in every game.
Early and often and scripted. Like, here's what you do. Hey, we really need to get this offense up and going. We need to get on the ball. We need to get ahead of the chains. All the coach euphemism that you use all day long, all the coach speak. Brock Bowers is that guy. So let's get him that little screen. By the way, it's coming. Gosh, guys, it might be this week or it might be Florida week, but I'm going to tell you what right now. Just like I said, Channing Tindall better watch against Florida coming up on that stupid little fake screen with the hook behind it. Oh, it kills me every single time somebody falls for it. Watch for the oop-de-doop Brock Bowers screen with the wide receiver cracking in, blocking, and then the pump and go. Watch for it because it's scripted so much and Brock Bowers is so focal. That's what Todd Monken is luring you into, Auburn fan. Because it's early and often it's scripted. He is the spark plug. Daniel, he's the one that gets us going.
Hot take from the email from the Weldon brothers, which Weldon brothers, check back with us when we get to the locks. We got something for you when we get to the locks episode. The Weldon brothers believe, and Clint, I don't know that it's true, but you can't. It's like the yacht. You can't convince me that it's not true. Weldon brothers are operating under the philosophy that Brock Bowers is just Jorge Pickens in disguise. Can we confirm or deny that it's just an elaborate disguise? That's actually George Pickens out there running around.
It's a little weird because, again, hot take. Cover
your ears.
Are you sure Jorge is that good?
Get the children out of the room.
Are you sure Jorge is that good?
Recency bias, Clint.
I don't care. I don't care. Last thing before we go to segment 3. The play of the game that typified the entire game, typified JT Daniels, typified Georgia and how much this offense is going. When that free blitzer came off the side and JT pinpointed the ball to Ladd McConkey over in the corner end zone and Ladd went up and grabbed it, snatched a man's soul as well as the ball in the air. And I said, this is unlike it any other year.
What is happening? Who are these people?
Ladd
McConkey. And I know some of y'all are like, well, I was listening to this insider and he was on Ladd McConkey. I get it. Like somebody was on Ladd McConkey. I get it. That's fine.
Sure.
We've heard good things about Ladd McConkey. Nobody was on that.
No.
What you saw on Saturday.
That's what you were on.
What you saw on Saturday, nobody was on that.
No.
For Ladd. Like,
no.
Jermaine Burton, not a factor in the offense. Darnell Washington still didn't play. Jorge Pickens still not out there.
Nope.
Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint didn't contribute.
Don Blaylock.
Don Blaylock didn't play. Did any of that matter, Clint?
Nope.
How many dudes do we have? We asked the question, does Georgia have any dudes before the season?
Turns out, Daniel.
Formal apology to everybody because Georgia has nothing but dudes on this offense.
Everywhere.
What is it? All right,
this is
coming
new.
back. We got more to talk about, and we will get to it right after this break. I haven't stopped sweating since Saturday, Clint. The question is, have you stopped sweating since Saturday?
I haven't. You know, Daniel, my shirt completely dry. I don't know if you understand what's happening right now.
How can it be possible?
I'll tell you why. Because I got SweatBlock. It is doctor created. It is doctor recommended. Workout for 7 days per use. Dry shirt guarantee. If SweatBlock doesn't keep you dry, you get your money back. Featured and tested on Rachel Ray's show by firefighters. They know heat. It's bestseller on Amazon the past 10 years. Over 13,000 reviews. Currently number 1 in Amazon antiperspirant category. Didn't know that was a category, but they're number 1. It's manufactured right here in the U.S. of A. If someone you love is dealing with this, you need to have them check out SweatBlock. It's your little thing of confidence. Every single person needs it in the toiletry bag. Get it today for 20% off at sweatblock.com with promo code LOCKEDON. That's 20% off sweatblock.com, promo code LOCKEDON, or at Amazon CVS.
Also want to tell you about Built Bar. It's the best tasting protein bar on planet Earth. You know this. I know this. Built Bar has a wide variety of delicious flavors. The newest flavor, cookie dough, is unbelievable. And it is a protein bar, not a candy bar. It tastes like a candy bar, healthy like a protein bar, high in protein, high in fiber, low in sugar, keto approved, good for whatever pre-workout, post-workout, meal replacement, whatever needs you have. Built Bar is good to go. Go to BuiltBar.com right now. Enter the promo code LOCKEDON15 and you'll get 15% off your first order. That's BuiltBar.com. Enter the promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your first order. Built Bar, the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth.
Dude, I got a trick question for you. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready. You told me it was a trick question, which feels like gives me an advantage.
It does. It does. I care about you as a co-host, so I don't want to lambaste you in front of everybody.
Wow. How about that?
You can pick. I'm going to give the opposing team.
Okay.
I went to Arkansas. Let's say you're an Arkansas fan. I say, hey, fan of Arkansas, you get to pick a starting defensive lineman to take out of our group.
Sure. Okay.
Which one's the correct answer, Daniel? What's the correct answer for somebody to take out?
It's Jordan Davis. That's the correct answer.
Okay, that's number 1.
Because while there are many elite defensive linemen, one of them is better than the rest. And his name is Jordan Davis. Yep.
That's where you start. After that, is there a right answer?
There are nothing but right answers.
Correct.
That's the issue. There's no answer more correct than the other.
Jordan Davis is, again, he is now my favorite Bulldog of all time. And if you heard him after the Vandy game, the love only kept going up. Like nothing is stopping the stock of love on Jordan Davis. He is everything I want in a football player. Everything.
Can we start now with a formal advertising campaign? Because how much money has Jordan Davis accrued for himself by coming back for a year? One year, he was going to be a 3rd or 4th round draft pick.
Correct.
He is now the number 1 defensive tackle on the board. And the number 1 defensive tackle, Clint, goes in the top 10.
And the difference between 1 and 2 of defensive tackles is wide. Is as big as Jordan Davis's shoulder pads.
Someone will try to trade up to get Jordan Davis. That's who he is now.
100%.
That's a lot of money he just made. Can we just hold on? M-Dubs. Trayvon Walker. Come back next year. Bro. I know let's finish out this year, but that's you, Trayvon. That's you. You could be a 3rd round pick this year if you come out. But come back for one more and just see what happens. See what Dan Lanning and Kirby does. You know Kirby can't develop, Clint.
Oh, certainly
he
not.
can't. He can't do
I know.
both.
No.
Are we talking about Jalen Carter, though? Is that what we're doing for this
We're
last
talking
segment?
about Jalen.
This is the
This is my
Jalen Carter
setup to you
segment?
to talk
Here we
about
go.
big old 8-8.
The floor is yours.
Okay, it is mine. Look, here's the deal. Jordan Davis is my all-time favorite Bulldog. But do you know who's in the hopper?
He's just bouncing around in there, waiting to be selected.
Nice. This I cannot talk enough. When you saw him dislodge a blocker, throw his hips into a running back and set him down.
Criminal.
This is Vanderbilt. I get it. I understand. But you don't understand the difference between a Bowling Green scholarship player and an SEC scholarship player. You have no idea, and you have no clue how you make a man look like a 15-pound miniature poodle. Like that doesn't happen with ease like that. This guy's a freak. He is beyond talented. And again, each and every week, this is the thing that changes this year. And we haven't peaked yet. Guys, we have not peaked yet. That's insane. Each week, these guys are getting better. Each week, they're progressing. Each week, their technique is getting better. They're shedding blockers. Nolan Smith is coming quicker. Adam Anderson is always there. Channing Tindall, Nakobe Dean are making tackles continually. There's no slide off. There's no regression. There's only progression on this team. And Jalen Carter is part of that. He might wind up being the second best defensive lineman on this team by season's end because of his insane ability that he's progressing.
It's the athleticism, Clint. That's if that guy shed 50 pounds and nothing else changed about him,
correct,
he would be a fantastic middle linebacker.
Wouldn't he?
And I'm talking about nothing else changed about him. Only he lost 50 pounds.
The speed? Oh, he'd have to get quicker, right, Daniel? He wouldn't. He'd have to get more nimble. No. Hit more fluid in the hips. Nope. Okay.
Listen, Jalen Carter is everything that you want. Not my favorite lead blocker in the world, if I might just nitpick at his game.
Okay.
If I might just nitpick. A different back scores on that play. We're going to talk about the running backs on tomorrow's episode, but regardless, Jalen Carter is a freak of nature, and what you said is absolutely true. We're going to give up more than 0 points in many of our games.
Yep. Okay?
But that won't mean that we don't play better than that. We're still getting better as the season wears on. Clint, we're getting better up front.
Yep.
We're getting better on the back end.
By the way, really quick, back end, Christopher Smith, we don't give you enough love.
How are you doing? How could we give him enough love? The only thing he does is replace an all-timer, beloved fan favorite, come in, 0 drop-off.
None.
I'm talking about, listen to me, Trevor, 0 drop-off when Christopher Smith comes in the game. And then he just comes back. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you a 4-star highly rated prospect? Why don't you go ahead and hit that portal because you ain't taking this job. We'll see y'all.
Not here.
We'll see y'all." Christopher Smith's going to wind up. He's going to stumble around and make himself a heck of a lot of money.
Oh, he's gonna get on a team. And I thought Lewis Seen was going to end a man's life before anybody else on this team. But I'll tell you what, right now, Christopher Smith is not going to end a man's life. He's a good tackler, all that.
No.
Latavius Brini.
But 36 now.
He is coming in
with some hot intentions, Clint. They were not noble in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I felt a lot of things when I saw that hit. The game was already well in hand, but some things just different. All right, we have much more to say about this. We have much more to say about the road ahead. We're headed to Arkansas. Asher and I will be there. College Game Day will be there. We're gonna be. It's all happening. So we got a lot to talk about that. Join us every day this week. We're glad that you're here. Thanks for listening, Danny. I hope we did you proud. Nothing negative was said on this episode. So we'll try. But it's not shocking if you watched the tape because
that's true.
Kirby couldn't even say anything negative after the game. Just
kickoffs.
Kickoffs. I guess
Okay.
I would have liked to have kicked it out of the end zone, even though we tackled the man inside the 15-yard line and forced one fumble.
And then they stopped. Then they stopped bringing them out.
Literally, the only thing was like Kirby didn't want anybody to get injured. That's why he wanted it kicked out of the end zone, because we gained 10 plus yards of field position every time we didn't kick it out. So thanks for being here. We're here every day this week. Come back tomorrow. Locked On Bulldogs on the YouTube channel or wherever podcasts are found. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.